Trump's incoming border czar is laying down the law to the Democrats who are promising to defy him. Right now, liberal mayors and governors are trying to see who can virtue signal louder, but vowing to interfere with Trump's mass deportation plans. But Mr. Tom Homan is sending them a clear message that he's done playing games.
You can not help us. That's fine. You should get the hell out of the way then, because we're going to do the job. President Trump has said public safety threats and national security threats will be the priority right out of the gate. And I can't believe there's any elected official that doesn't want public safety threats out of their communities. Their number one responsibility is protecting the communities. So if they're not going to do it, we'll do it for them. And we're going to have consequences for people who violate the law and try to prevent us from doing our job.
Yeah, he's not just making this up. Here's a prime example of the criminals Homan wants out of the country. Check out this Venezuelan immigrant. He's a repeat offender, and he was arrested for robbing one of Alvin Bragg's prosecutors, stealing her purse, and then threatening her for her credit card PIN. Yeah, this pervert also exposing himself before fleeing. This is his 6th arrest this year, and ICE is blasting officials for letting him go.
It's possible, but we really haven't had. We're working on identification and we're doing what we can, but he wasn't in our custody. And they won't give us anything more than what we have. So I would like better collaboration on this and allow them to honor our detainer and let us help them.
Yeah, Rosanna, you look at this. I mean, does this wake them up? This is somebody in your office. Maybe you put somebody in jail once you've arrested them 6 times to protect the people that work beside you.
Joey, talk about hitting home. It's like knock, 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 Alvin Bragg. Do you see what's going on? But it's not just Alvin Bragg's problem. It's the city's problem. Just this week on Good Day New York, we had the new police commissioner, Jessica Tisch. She came on and said, I really don't know the extent of migrant crime in New York City because New York City is a sanctuary city. So we do not report to ICE that someone who committed a crime in New York City is here illegally. And now our mayor, Eric Adams, a year ago said to me on my special on the migrant crisis on Fox Nation, he said basically he wants to change the status of sanctuary city. But the city council, which has a lot to say in New York, says absolutely not. They will not change it. Even though they know what's going on in New York City is awful. They just convened a few weeks ago because there were so many unaccompanied minors staying at the Roosevelt Hotel. No parents. They don't know if these kids are going to school. They don't know if these kids are being human trafficked. They know there's a problem. We don't know the extent of it. But this is what's going on in New York City right now. We don't know exactly how bad.
Harold, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but there aren't really any Republican cities that are sanctuary cities. It's acutely a Democrat-caused problem in a lot of people's minds. But really, when you look at something like the Laken Riley murder trial, then you get these details that come out. His flight down to Georgia was paid for by the government. And this idea that there really are victims to these crimes, these Democrat leaders have taken away our ability to even be empathetic towards migrants because right now it's all a threat.
Right, so you guys won the race, so you should act. I like Tom Homan. I don't know him. He seems like a decent guy. Stop auditioning for like a sci-fi adventure movie and just do the job. I'm part of the 75% of Americans that want these criminals deported. I'm one of the 75% of Americans in the polls that want a vastly different and stronger posture at the southern border. That's why you won. You don't need to come on Fox or CNN or anywhere. Just go do the job. And if Democrats get in the way, Joey, or Republicans get in the way, you know what you do? The policy is going to usurp them. I would probably spend my time, if I were him also, coming into cities like New York and Los Angeles, where the city council in Los Angeles declared Los Angeles a sanctuary city. I would ask them to meet with the city council and say, guys, I tell you, I think you're wrong. Here's what we're going to do. And here's what how your efforts may interfere with what we're going to do. Now, I know that you want to protect people, but we want to take these people off the streets who are committing crimes. We prioritize how we're going to do it. I'm just a different kind of fellow than him. I wish him the best. I'm rooting for him. I'm praying for him. But I do wish he'd stop coming on TV and looking like he's in Top Gun jackets, ready to fight somebody. just go ahead and do your job.
I appreciate it. I know Laken Riley's stepdad, and somebody needs to talk tough. Somebody needs to use hard words because Democrats would tell you that, Dana, that they're all basically good people and there's a few bad apples, and those bad apples have done some pretty terrible things. If President Trump has any kind of mandate whatsoever in this election, it is the border. I mean, that is the issue, I think, that probably united more people from different tents into his demographic than anything.
So this is a rare thing where I'm going to disagree with Harold kind of strongly, but politely. I think that first of all, President Trump's never been more popular than he is today. So he's got a mandate, he's got the wind behind his back, and he's got people saying, "We're ready, sir. Sign us up. We're ready to go. We have 60 days, but we're not going to wait till we get our offices and find out, through employee orientation where the bathrooms are. Like, we're ready to go, so we're preparing." And Tom Homan is a character, and in a way, what I mean by that is somebody who you can follow. You want to listen. He makes you pay attention, and he might have a little different way about him. And I think that's the kind of general you need to go into this situation. I think the communications on all of this is going to be extremely important, possibly even delicate going forward, because there might be scenarios that are very tough to watch. One kid crying, one mother screaming, like any of those things.
Yeah.
One of those things could be a problem. So they're basically saying, here's what we want to do. And I think that he should go to all of those cities and meet with them. But I would also say this. We know from the Biden administration that there are 1.4 million illegal immigrants here right now that have deportation orders. If you have a deportation order, the law says you must be removed. So it's not against the law to remove them. Actually, it's against the law to not remove them. So that will be job number one. That's 1.4 million people. That's going to take a lot of effort. Out of that, Joe Biden's ICE revealed that there are 425,000 convicted criminal aliens just roaming free around the country, 15,000 rapists, and 12,000 convicted murderers within that group.
Wow.
So he has his work cut out for him and needs kind of like the army of the Border Patrol behind him, but also the umbrella of the political capital that President Trump can give him when they start.
It's almost like Trump wasn't a racist when he said they're sending murderers and rapists. I don't know. We're several years after that, though. Kat, the argument that Dems are using is that it's just going to cost so much money to remove all these people that it almost isn't worth it. And it's kind of ironic to me that I guess they have a price for peace and life, preserving life. I'm not sure. I mean, usually they like spending money.
Yeah, I don't see the argument for not wanting these people who are violent criminals to leave. I don't see it. And I say that as somebody who I believe that if you are nonviolent and you are self-sufficient and you want to come contribute to this economy, then you should be free to do so. I mean, I think that the self-sufficient one maybe is controversial to some people. I don't see how the nonviolent one could be. If you're self-sufficient and you're nonviolent, I don't in that case want to spend money deporting you. But as compassionate as a person can be, and I'm a very compassionate person, there's nothing compassionate about keeping people that you know are dangerous, either to the community or to national security or just dangerous in general in that community. That's not compassionate. I think that some people have their identity so wrapped up in being part of the resistance that perhaps they're not thinking about what they're even actually resisting in a case like this. That they know that that's their response, that, okay, Trump, he's bad and he's going to do this. And so we have to fight against this because I'm this compassionate person, without thinking about what you're really resisting and what compassion means in that case. And in this case, keeping violent people in communities is not a compassionate thing.
Yeah, kids in cages won't work this time around. I mean, hell, they've lost tens of thousands of kids. Yeah. You know, it's a terrible situation.
But Joe, I'm not for criminals staying in the country, and I'm as sympathetic to Laken Riley's family as you are. My only point was just do the job.
No, I get it. I think maybe in that get up and that posture, he's speaking to those cartels and people like that as much as anyone.
Right. Fair enough.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.